Welcome to Get Lost with me, Natalie Preddie.
And Jamie.
And we are here in beautiful Montreal, and we're going to show you why this is the ultimate Canadian summer destination.
Oui, oui. Oui, oui.
If Montreal isn't on your family's summer travel list yet, I have a feeling it will be by the end of this episode. We weren't just looking for things to do, we were looking for the kind of experiences we'd still be talking about on the flight home. And Montreal delivered. Summer here is loud, colorful, walkable, and somehow manages to balance culture with just enough chaos to keep two little boys entertained. Over one long weekend, we packed in incredible food, live music, Black history, art, and even an island escape, all without ever feeling rushed. Let's show you how. Our first stop was Kamúy, where Chef Paul Toussaint is telling the story of Haiti one plate at a time. His food blends the bold flavors of his Haitian heritage with fresh Quebec ingredients, proving that Caribbean cuisine can be both deeply rooted in tradition and endlessly creative. Chef Paul welcomed us like family from the moment we walked in, and yes, they surprised me by trying almost everything. Almost. From dinner, we headed straight into the Montreal International Jazz Festival. It's the largest jazz festival in the world, attracting millions of visitors every summer. But what surprised me most wasn't the size, it was the accessibility.
A big goal of that program is to reduce the barriers of accessibility and music education. Even though a lot of our shows are free, there's shows that are amazing that you have to pay for, but sometimes you don't have the money.
Of course.
So how do we break that barrier to get people to have access to that level of expertise?
Roughly 2/3 of the programming is completely free. That means you don't need expensive tickets or a rigid itinerary. You simply wander through downtown and discover incredible music around every corner. Festival programmer Modibo Keita believes world-class music shouldn't depend on money or connections. That's why the festival offers free artist talks and masterclasses, creating opportunities for young musicians to learn directly from the people they're watching on stage. Modibo also reminded me that Montreal's place in jazz history isn't accidental. During Prohibition, Black American musicians crossed the border to perform here, helping establish Montreal as one of North America's great jazz cities. And one of jazz's greatest legends, Oscar Peterson, was born right here. This ended up being one of my favorite nights. The boys danced in the streets, played games, discovered artists they'd never heard of before, and Jamie, who absolutely loves jazz, was completely captivated. Watching him soak it all in reminded me why exposing kids to live music matters so much. And because all three boys are in French immersion, this was the perfect opportunity for 2 and 3 to actually use their French, ordering snacks, reading signs, saying merci. It stopped feeling like homework and became part of the adventure. Another thing I love most about Montreal is that culture isn't confined to galleries and museums. It's everywhere. Turn one corner, you'll find a live performance. Turn another, and there's a public art installation. The city feels like one giant open-air gallery. Later, we visited MEM, the Centre des Mémoires Montréal, a museum dedicated to the stories that have shaped Montreal into the city it is today.
These are all these Italian women who came to Montreal. They didn't have any work. They didn't know how to support their families, so they became seamstresses.
Whether it's museums, galleries, or public art, you're constantly discovering something new here. Not exactly what we expected before breakfast, but that's travel. If someone had told me that one of the highlights of the weekend would be a gospel brunch, I probably wouldn't have believed them. But Le Balcon completely changed my mind. Amazing food, powerful voices, and enough joy in one room to lift everyone out of their seats. I'm not saying that this experience made me consider going back to church, but if every Sunday came with this choir and mimosas, I would definitely be there a little more often. This wasn't just another meal or another performance. It was another reminder that Montreal has a way of turning everyday moments into memorable ones.
We've just arrived in Little Burgundy, which has been called the Harlem of the North. This is the birthplace of Canadian jazz.
Nestled between St. Henri and Griffintown, this neighborhood was once the heart of Black Montreal. Today, I'm meeting storyteller and historian Rito Joseph, who's dedicated years to preserving the stories that helped shape this city.
Montreal is deep-rooted in its Black history, but again, because it's unbeknownst to so many people, they don't know that a lot of what we see has to do with the presence of people of African descent.
Before the 1950s, many Black railway porters settled here after working out of Windsor and Bonaventure stations. Little Burgundy quickly became the cultural heart of Black Montreal, a place where families built community, musicians found each other, and a distinctly Montreal jazz scene began to emerge. This was also where Montreal's place in jazz history began. During Prohibition, Black American musicians crossed the border looking for places to perform, and they found community here. Some of Canada's greatest musicians, including Oscar Peterson and Oliver Jones, called this neighborhood home. Like so many Black communities across North America, Little Burgundy changed. Highway construction and gentrification displaced many of the families who built this neighborhood. But what struck me most wasn't what had been lost, it was what remained. The music, the stories, the pride, the people still making sure those stories are told. That was the moment this trip changed for me. Watching my boys stand on these streets, hearing stories about the people who shaped this city, that's something no classroom can create. History suddenly wasn't something they were reading about, they were standing in it. And as a mom, those are the moments I hope they carry with them long after they've forgotten where we stayed and what the hotel pool looked like. After spending the afternoon learning about Montreal's past, we headed toward the Lachine Canal. And of course, the music followed us. This is Guinguette du Sud-Ouest. I'm sorry, my French is awful. I can't even pretend I can say that. It's Southwest. And it's a seasonal pop-up right on the waterfront. And this is one of those places that makes you wonder why every city doesn't do summer like Montreal. Everywhere we went, there seemed to be another outdoor concert, neighborhood festival, food market, or community gathering. Even Cirque du Soleil surprises people with free pop-up performances throughout the city. You don't have to chase the fun here. It just kind of finds you.
It surprises me how easy it was to find people that I can relate to. It's a very nice thing. It feels really good to belong to something.
Another thing I noticed all weekend was how easy it was to simply exist outside. Families weren't running from attraction to attraction. They were lingering and listening and talking and dancing. Montreal feels like a city that genuinely wants people to enjoy summer together. The next morning, we hopped aboard the river shuttle for Parc Jean Drapeau. One of my favorite things about Montreal is how quickly the city changes. 10 minutes ago, we were downtown. Now it feels like we've escaped to an island. Parc Jean Drapeau sits on two islands in the middle of the St. Lawrence River and somehow manages to be whatever kind of day you need it to be. Beach day, bike ride, museum, festival, amusement park, nature walk. Honestly, you could spend an entire week here and still have things left on your to-do list. We happened to visit during Petit Picnic, a family-friendly electronic music event where toddlers, teenagers, parents, and grandparents all end up dancing together. My boys have absolutely no problem dancing like nobody's watching. Between the music, the food trucks, and the open space, this felt like one of those days where nobody wanted to leave, and honestly, neither did I. One of the best things about Montreal is that even when you think you've seen everything, there's always one more discovery waiting around the corner. On our last morning, we wandered through the old port, explored Chinatown, and spent more time at MEM Le Centre des Mémoires Montréal. Sorry, guys, my French is awful. And like so much of the city, MEM isn't just about what happened here. It's about the people who shaped Montreal, the communities that continue to redefine it, and the stories that connect us all. What I loved most was that the boys weren't just looking at exhibits, they were asking questions like, why did people come here? Who lived here first? How did the city become what it is today? And that's exactly what I hope travel does. I don't want all the answers, but I want to be curious enough to ask better questions. By the end of the weekend, I realized that Montreal's greatest strength, it's all about the stories and the people who proudly share them, and the feeling that you're always just one block away from discovering something new. Before this trip, I thought I was bringing my two youngest boys to Montreal. It turns out, Montreal gave them something back. Archie found room to run, play, discover, and explore, and Jamie found jazz. That's the thing about family travel. You think you're planning a vacation, but sometimes you're introducing your children to something they'll carry with them for the rest of their lives. A new passion, different perspective, a deeper understanding of the world, and maybe even themselves. That's what Montreal gave us, not just a great weekend. And stories we'll keep talking about long after we get home. So until next time, allez se faire curieux. Never mind. Get lost.